What up, guys? So here are my picks for UFC on ESPN, Felder versus Dos Anjos, and it's gonna be a pretty awesome event. The last few changes, I think, made it a pretty badass event, and I actually like Dos Anjos versus Felder more than Dos Anjos versus Marquez. I thought because that fight was gonna be kind of boring, at least in my opinion. But not this one. This one should be fun, and I'll do the entire main card and a couple from the prelims. But tomorrow I will post my my entire picks on my Instagram, and I'll leave my link to it. There'll be no breakdown, but you'll be able to see the entire event, and they'll match with what I'm gonna say today. So Felder versus Dos Anjos, under normal circumstances, meaning that if this would have been a fight that was prepared and both of them had a full camp, I would have had to think about it more, and I think I still would have picked Rafael Dos Anjos, but so I mean that should tell you. I'm picking Rafael Dos Anjos. I'm picking him to win by submission round 4. And like I said, had Felder had a full camp, I probably still would have picked Dos Anjos, but by decision. And I would have given way more chances to Paul Felder. But taking the fight on 5 days' notice versus a Dos Anjos who is, he's coming from 2 losses to Chiesa and Leon Edwards, so he's obviously very motivated, and he's not going to want to lose a 3rd time in a row to Felder taking it on short notice. It just doesn't sound good for Felder. Not just that, but he made a comment. I've heard comments from Felder. One, he made this comment saying, I got nothing to lose. And that tells me that he knows that the chances of losing are there, but it's not going to affect him. And he really has nothing to lose, Nobody's going to fault him for losing to Dos Anjos on 5 days' notice. And if he wins, then it's like the total opposite. But the reason, and I think about Felder, even though I think Felder is slightly the more powerful striker, I don't think he's that much of a better striker than Dos Anjos, even with the full camp. Not only that, but Felder has never really been a guy that knocks people out with a single punch or a finisher overall, If you look at his last win, was Barboza by split. Before that was James Vick by decision, and both of those guys are very easy to finish, yet Felder was not able to finish either one of them. His last finish was Oliveira over 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, by ground and pound. His last fight, he lost to Dan Hooker by split decision, where it was a very competitive fight, and I thought Hooker was going to dominate him, but no, it was more competitive than what it was. But see, the thing that he's going to run into with Dos Anjos is that Dos Anjos can, not only can he kick up, but he can probably take him down and hold him down if he has to, or he can mix it up very well where he can strike, pressure, and take you down, and is very decent at all of that. Power, for sure, I would give it to Felder, even though he hasn't really shown it. So I don't really know, because like I said, Barboza and Vick are guys that have been finished many, many times, and Felder was not able to. So I really don't know about his power. Maybe he's actually not that powerful of a striker, but he's a really good striker. That's his thing. But I just think that Dos Anjos is gonna beat him everywhere in this fight. Stand up, grappling, and I think that cardio is gonna be the issue. Like I said, normally I would have picked Dos Anjos by decision, but I feel like by round 4, Felder's gonna be winded, and Dos Anjos is going to take him down and submit it. So Dos Anjos by submission round 4. Before that, we have Abdul Razak Alhassan and Chaos Williams. So the last time Alhassan fought was against Munir Lazez. The most impressive thing about that fight was Munir Lazez. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to when this guy's going to fight again. I don't even know where to start with Lazez. I know I'm talking about Alhassan, but I mean, that guy's a monster. Not only did he show a diamond chin because he ate clean shots from a guy that is known from knocking people out in the first round pretty easy, but he was able to outstrike him, outpace him, outgrapple him, and he was able to eat everything Alhassan threw at him. I've made this comment before. If you look at all of Alhassan's wins, I think every single one of them, it's round one. See, Price was round one, Homasi round one, round one. One. Yeah. This is the guy that I was talking about before. This guy has 10 wins. Every single one of them are knockout round one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are in under a minute. So this guy's a guy that, he lands a punch and he knocks you out. So that is what makes Munir Lassez so amazing. The fact that if you've watched that fight, he was able to eat several clean shots from Alhassan, and he just walked through them. He was laughing at him. I mean, if people that are going to be forced to stand up and trade with Lassez are going to be in trouble. And then he's fighting Chaos Williams, who his last fight, he absolutely steamrolled through Alex Morano. It lasted like 20-something seconds. Not too much to get out of that one, other than he has power. But his second to last win against Jeremy Holloway, I'm picking Razak to win by knockout round one. And the reason I say that is because if you look at his fights against Jeremy Holloway, that he won by, I think it was decision, he was eating a lot of shots on that first round. And as you can see, when Alhassan lands, I mean, except for Lassez, he knocks you out. And one thing to point out is that Alhassan's last fight against Lassez was after 2 years and 2 months of a layoff because some legal issues that he had. So who could have known, was he 100%? Was he a little bit rusty? Now, he's, whatever rust he had got shaken with Lassez. So now he's fresh for this one. And I just see him doing what he does. He connects round one, finishes Chaos Williams. And I think about Alhassan is that he ate a lot of shots against Munir Lassez. So, and he also showed that he has a chin. So I don't see Chaos Williams being able to do to him what he did to Alex Morano. But he has power, though. And so you never know. For sure, puncher's chance for Chaos Williams. But Razak Alhassan KO TKO over one the way he does it. Then we have Julian Marquez versus Safarov. Another fight that, if it wasn't because Julian Marquez has 2 years and 4 months layoff, I would be picking him 100% to win by destruction on this fight. I'm still picking Julian Marquez to win by KO TKO round 2, but it's one of those fights where I have run into guys that have a layoff and then they come back looking amazing, like as if they never had the layoff. And then there's guys that have had the layoff, and you can tell that they have some sort of ring rust. Like Thomas Almeida was one that came back looking slower than the way he normally does. Safarov, his last fight, he got submitted by Rodolfo Vieira. There is no shame on that one. If Rodolfo Vieira takes you down and gets a hold of anything, you will get submitted. I mean, his submission skills are on par with, if they're as good as Ngannou's punching power or as good as Khabib's takedowns. We're talking about level, like Olympic level, elite jiu-jitsu. So getting submitted by Vieira, there's no shame on that one. But his fight with Negru Mariano, he showed that he has very poor striking, and he's more of a guy that can grapple a little bit, but against, low level guys. I have Marquez KO TKO round 2. His last fight versus De Chirico was a split decision, but still you can see his ability. This guy can do everything. He pressures you, he can strike, he's a really good striker, a lot of power. Like I said, if it wasn't because of 2 years and 4 months, I would pick Marquez 100%. I'm like 85-15, because I don't know if he has a ring rust or not. So, but I'm gonna go with he doesn't. So, Marquez KO TKO round 2. He wins however he wants. Let's see, main event. Then I have Hansen by decision. You want a breakdown? Go listen to someone else, because every time I do women's, I get it all wrong. As far as MMA. Antonio Arroyo and Eric Anders. This is one of my underdogs for the night. I'm picking Arroyo by decision. This is a fight where Arroyo reminds me kind of like because he's Brazilian, he reminds me kind of like a Machida, like a really good striker with really amazing takedown defense. And the way how he fights, the movement of back and forth, also reminds me of Machida. Eric Anders in his last fight versus Joko, he has shown throughout his career in the UFC that there's nothing special about him. He's like a well-rounded guy, but like a low-level well-rounded guy, where he can do a little bit of striking, but it's nothing special. He can do a little bit of grappling, but there's nothing special. The one thing that I will give him is that he packs a punch, like if he lands clean, but every second that this fight stays on the feet, I think Arroyo is gonna absolutely piece him up. Arroyo's coming from losing to Andre Muniz. He didn't get completely dominated though. I mean, the grappling made the difference, but I just don't see Eric Anders being able to do that to Arroyo. And you have to, I'm pretty sure he is very well prepared for this one. There were several moments in the fight between Anders and Joko where he got deep on his leg and he was not able to take him down. Like I said, his takedown is nothing to be impressed by. Arroyo by decision. I think he keeps it standing and puts a striking clinic. Then Brendan Allen versus Sean Strickland. I had to go back and forth on this one, thinking just to make my decision. Very similar to Anders and Arroyo. Every second that Strickland keeps his fight standing, he's gonna be absolutely outstriking Brendan Allen. In his last fight versus Jack Marchman, he pieced him up. Allen is not gonna go there to trade punches with him. He's gonna go there pursuing a takedown over and over and over. Unlike Anders and Arroyo, I actually think that Allen will be able to get the takedown, and I'm picking Allen by submission round 3. But this one I'm not super confident. I'm like 60-40 Allen. Strickland could, training at Team Quest, he could be very well prepared to stop the takedown and force Allen to stand up and trade with him and knock him out on the stand-up. So yeah. Amazing. Brendan Allen's last fight was against Kyle the however you pronounce it. He won by decision. However, there were parts in that fight that the Quad was able to out-grapple him. I don't see Strickland being able to do that. So I have Allen submission round 3, but like I said, not very confident. If Strickland keeps it standing, he will probably win. Then Smolka versus Quinonez. I have Smolka by decision. Quinonez's last fight was against Sean O'Malley, where he got steamrolled. He got destroyed. Before that was Carlos Joaquin. He out-grappled him and dominated him. There's nothing special about that guy. Smolka comes from losing to Casey Kenny, running out of time here, where he was actually doing pretty good up until he got caught with a punch that rocked him. He tries to go for a takedown and gets submitted with the guillotine. I don't see Quinonez being able to do that. I think Smolka wins a comfortable decision, 30-27. Nothing special about either one of these guys, but I still think Smolka is slightly better. So here's my summary. Dos Anjos, submission round 4. Alhassan, KO TKO round 1. Marquez, KO TKO round 2. But he could have ring rust and Safarov could upset. We don't know how long the layout is going to affect him. Hansen by decision. Arroyo by decision. Brendan Allen, submission round 3. Louis Smolka by decision. I think that's it. All right, guys, have a good one.